EPGI Capital presents itself as a sophisticated global investment firm, but every verifiable fact exposes it as a short-lived fraudulent operation designed to collect deposits and disappear. The website uses polished imagery, confident language, and a rented address in Singapore to imitate legitimacy. Yet beneath this surface lies a structure assembled entirely for deception. The domain was registered on the 30th of September 2025, meaning the project is only a few months old. No genuine financial institution is created and launched overnight, and no regulated broker builds its public presence on a one-year domain whose ownership is hidden behind privacy services. The claim that EPGI Capital possesses licenses from the Monetary Authority of Singapore, from European regulators, or from the United Kingdom collapses immediately. None of these authorities list the company in their registries. It does not appear in the databases of the Financial Conduct Authority, the Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission, the Australian Securities and Investments Commission, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, or the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. It is entirely unregulated and therefore prohibited from accepting client funds or offering any form of investment service. The listed address in Singapore at 2 Beach Road is not a real office, not a trading floor, and not the headquarters of a financial institution. It is a virtual mailbox rented by dozens of unrelated entities, many of which operate in the gray zone or belong to short-term schemes. There is no corporate registration for EPGI Capital in Singapore, no directors, no legal filings, and no evidence of a physical presence. The illusion of a global operation exists only on the website. The services advertised by EPGI Capital include foreign exchange trading, stocks, indices, commodities, exchange-traded funds, arbitrage strategies, access to hedge funds, participation in public offerings, and an invented product called contract trading. Every one of these offerings requires formal regulatory authorization. Without a license, such services are illegal, and listing them is a clear indicator of a fraudulent enterprise attempting to impress potential victims with complex terminology. The so-called investment plans of EPGI Capital reveal the true purpose of the project. The structure begins with a low entry point of £100 and escalates rapidly to £1,500, then to £16,500, and finally to £65,000. This pattern is characteristic of deposit extraction funnels used in high-risk scams. At each level, the company promises advanced privileges: analysts, webinars, private channels, arbitrage tools, insurance, or access to hedge funds, none of which can be verified, none of which can legally be offered by an unlicensed firm, and all of which serve to push the client toward increasingly large deposits. Contract trading, one of the central features in the more expensive plans, is not a recognized financial service in any jurisdiction and appears to be a fabricated concept created solely to justify higher payment tiers. The trading platform itself is a simple web-based emulator. It does not connect to real markets, does not route orders, and does not interact with liquidity providers. Every chart, every position, and every profit figure can be modified by the operator. This is a hallmark of fraudulent brokers, a visual environment designed to mimic trading while remaining entirely under the control of the scheme's administrators. The absence of professional trading software such as MetaTrader or CTrader is another critical indicator. A firm of the scale EPGI Capital pretends to represent would not operate without recognized infrastructure. Independent investigative platforms have already classified EPGI Capital as a high-risk fraudulent project. Reviews from multiple sources describe identical scenarios: deposits accepted instantly, accounts showing artificial growth, withdrawal requests blocked, and victims pressured to pay additional fees before funds can supposedly be released. After the final payment is made, communication stops entirely. This pattern is consistent with hundreds of pseudo-brokers exposed across Europe and Asia in recent years, most of which operate for a few months before abandoning the domain and reappearing under a new name. The anonymity of EPGI Capital is absolute. The website provides no legal entity name, no registration number, no governing documents, no compliance information, and no identities of executives. The listed phone number and email address lead nowhere. Messages receive generic replies or remain unanswered. A legitimate broker cannot function this way. Transparency is a mandatory requirement of financial regulation, and anonymity is a defining characteristic of schemes intended to evade accountability. When taken together, the evidence forms a complete and unmistakable picture. EPGI Capital is not a financial firm. It is not licensed, not registered, not supervised, and not present in any public corporate records. Its address is virtual, its platform is simulated, its investment products are fabricated, its claims of international compliance are false, and its pricing structure is designed exclusively to extract escalating deposits from unsuspecting users. Every element of the project, from the one-year domain to the unverified services, reflects the operational blueprint of a short-term fraudulent scheme. Any funds sent to EPGI Capital are at extreme risk of permanent loss. The platform has no legal authority to manage investments, no obligation to follow financial regulations, and no mechanism to protect client assets. It exists solely on its website, and the moment deposits diminish or complaints grow, it will vanish in the same way dozens of similar schemes have disappeared before it. When a broker hides its licenses, it is preparing to hide your money. In the case of EPGI Capital, the disappearance is only a matter of time.